Hey guys, this is John here in Los Angeles with the Alpha Channel update for Thursday, November 14th, 2024. And today's conflicted card, conflicted deck 1, what is this anyhow? The 4 of clubs is a scenario, sort of encounter card. 3 men come to your home, and this is after the collapse, your wife and family. And I guess you're living somewhere rural, where you don't have a lot of neighbors, and it's a relatively secure approach and departure area. It must be a rural location, because the way this card reads, so 3 guys come to your house and ask if you have anything to share, if they can help, if there's anything they can do. It's the end of the world, right? And you are faced, the way this is phrased is really specific. You are challenged with the option of, if you let them go, you're afraid that because of their manner, because of how they behave toward you, that they will come back and kill you and loot your home. So you have the option, the way this is phrased, to kill them now. I don't know how you have this option. Maybe you have a turret set at your front door, and as they're walking away, you can shoot them, or something along those lines. But you have the option that kill them now. And do you or don't you? So the way I see this is there's 2 aspects to this. 1, you didn't secure your property in such a way as to prevent people from getting to you. You're rural enough that you have an opportunity to kill them while they're walking away from a conversation with you, but you're not prepared enough to have secured your home and property to prevent them from getting to you without having to, scale a fence or slip past some booby traps. So you haven't done enough work. And now you're considering murdering these people. Look at it from, and here's the second part of this, look at it from the other perspective. You are out after the end of the world, you have 2 companions, and every homeowner you run into, this is how people are thinking. Remember, normal humans wrote these cards. So they're normal humans, normal family men with wife and children, see every group of 3 men. This is why importing hundreds of Somalis and sub-Saharan Africans to small towns in Ireland is committing genocide against white people, because every group of 3 men out wandering the countryside after the collapse is going to potentially rape and murder and kill and eat your children and wife. That's how people look at the world. So recognize that. If you're out on your own, don't go up knocking on people's doors. If you're going to be a murder hobo, be a murder hobo. And if you're not, if you're going to have a wife and family, group up with a group of people and secure your community so that wandering savages don't come and knock on your front door. If they get to your front door, it's too fucking late. You should have killed them already. They should never see you. They should never see you coming. They should step on your property and their heads should explode. Like magic. That's how it should be. The race war is coming, you guys. So that is before Tarzan number 10, where we get back to amnesiac Tarzan and kidnapped Jane and all the moving parts, and they're not resolved. We get some of them taken off the board. This is like a chess game where all the pieces are, threatening one another, and as soon as something goes, it's going to be a bloodbath. That's kind of what's going on here. And I'm not going to rehash where all the different characters are, because it's going to take too long. But it starts off with Johm Buscema illustrating Tarzan hunting a deer. And he's been hunting this deer for a while. He's been chasing it. He's been downwind of it, stalking it, not stealthily hunting it. There's a word for that. It's called stalking. He's been stalking it, and something ahead has scared the deer and sent it running straight back toward him, into his arms essentially. He jumps out of the tree with his knife, kills the deer, jumps back up into the tree with the deer the way any leopard would, and is out of the way in time to see Ahmed Zek and the Abyssinians, one of the other groups, come riding through the forest. This is the Abyssinians. And they are on their way to Tarzan's ranch home, where they're looking for the gold that Albert Werper, Monsieur Foucault, has promised them. And Tarzan follows them because he wants to know what's going on. He still has amnesia. And they get to the property and they find that the gold is gone. It has been moved by Ahmed Zek's men. And there's still the factor, the issue of Tarzan's tribal men, the Waziri, who lived at the plantation, are now living in the surrounding jungle. And so while this is going on, Ahmed Zek's men attack the Abyssinians and they have a gunfight. Albert Werper flees and Ahmed Zek chases him, and Tarzan follows them. Tarzan actually steals a horse to follow them across the plains until they get to a section where he can ditch the horse and jump back up into the trees. Here, Ahmed Zek and Albert Werper have a shootout where they come to a negotiated settlement in that Albert Werper will surrender the pouch of stones, Tarzan's pouch. It had been Tarzan's. He stole it from him. That's why Tarzan is chasing him. He's supposed to be jewels. Okay, so Albert Werper and Ahmed Zek are having a shootout. Albert Werper shoots Ahmed Zek's horse, and now they're pinned down behind the carcasses of their horses, shooting at each other, and Tarzan is watching this. This page is beautiful. This is the D page of the vocabulary of the Mangani tribe. And here we get Ahmed Zek's men who have carried off the gold and believe no one is chasing them, so they leave it behind. Tarzan's men, the Waziri, come out of the jungle and carry off the gold. So, yeah. Here we get, in this delirious 18-panel, 2-page spread, 9 panels per page. As I said, there's a lot of moving parts in this book, and they have to do a lot of work to resolve all the issues. They spent 2 or 3 issues dodging all of this. We had Tarzan's flashback, we had Tarzan's myth, and then we had the other one. Those were all was 2 or 3, I don't know, a couple at least. So here we have 18 panels, and let me explain what happens. And not all of it is clear, not all of it is properly explained. There's a lot of 3-card Monty going on, you know, the cup game where the ball's under the cup, where you got the 3 cards and you switch them and which one's the ace. So Albert Werper and Ahmed Zek come to a negotiated settlement. Albert Werper will leave the bag of jewels if Ahmed Zek will set his gun down, barrel away from the drama, while Albert Werper flees. So that happens. Then you get Ahmed Zek picks up the jewels and realizes they are pebbles and that he's been tricked. And it's quite possible that Albert Werper didn't even know that they're pebbles, because over here, Tarzan comes down and looks at the pebbles after Ahmed Zek discards them, and we get a flashback of how Mugabe at some point had switched them. Yeah, see, and not all of this makes sense, because back when Tarzan got shot, and there was a time before that where Mugabe got shot, and here we're getting a flashback of how when Mugabe was unconscious, one of the apes came and stole his pouch of jewels. I don't know, it has not been resolved yet how that relates to Tarzan's pouch, which has traded hands 3 or 4 times. And now there's not even jewels in it, there's just pebbles. So we had that delirious 18-page spread. Here we get back to a 6 and 8-pager. And what is happening here? Here, the ape is about to rape Jane. This was a few issues ago, and a lion is nearby and attacks the ape. Jane pretends to be unconscious while the lion kills the ape, which is, you know, beautiful artwork. And then once she's far enough away, she tries to roll away, then she gets up and runs, and the lion, attracted by the movement, chases her. Jane runs up a tree. Now, we all know that lions can climb trees, but the explanation in this one is that the male lion is too heavy for this particular tree. They could have made it a thinner, skinnier, smaller tree, but the lion could have probably just pulled that sort of tree down. I don't know. This was an easy solution. Here we get a bunch more panels, 2 8-page panel pages, 2 8-panel pages, 8-page panel pages. So, and now here we're getting close to wrapping it up, 3 more pages. So Tarzan is moving through the jungle. He reaches the burnt remnants of his ranch, and things are starting to come back to him. Memories are starting to come back. He still doesn't remember exactly everything that's happened. But then he sees Albert Werper on a horse, and he tackles him, and he says he basically refreshes Tarzan's memory. He calls him Lord Greystoke, and that brings all the memories flooding back. He remembers Jane, he remembers Law of Opar, he remembers the jewels. Suddenly Tarzan understands everything that's going on. It's all come back to him, just as a new group. See, now look, you guys remember when all the DVDs hit, and there's suddenly DVDs of everything, right? They would put out a DVD box set of science fiction movies from the 50s for like $10, and you would get like 50 movies on these DVDs. They would all be crammed in there. And you saw a lot of the same writing techniques on display. As soon as you get a situation where your main character has to kill a bunch of enemies to continue, and it's well within his power, the only way to prevent him from doing that is to bring in a new power dynamic character, a new group of characters, new character enters, a new player enters the game. And that's exactly what happens here on the last page. We get a pin-up of the lion fighting the monkey, which could have been back forced between the panels back here where Jane is being attacked. But let's see where it didn't fit, right? Like, why didn't it fit? I mean, I guess you could have, it would have fit right here, right between the 2 pages. Why not? Except that it's a repeat of this panel down here, right? It is essentially the same panel. And so, yeah, new players have entered the game. Tarzan is about to take out Albert Werper when these guys show up, who are some sort of authority. I don't even remember their name. Now I have to look this up. There's going to be all these cuts in this video. So yeah, these are officers of the Congo Free State, and Albert Werper, they have an arrest warrant for him, and Tarzan's like, no, I've got him first, and they move in and knock Tarzan out. Do they knock him out unconscious? Yeah, rifle to the back of the head. So Tarzan's going to have amnesia again in the next issue. He just got his memories back, and he takes another shot to the head. Heroes used to get so many concussions in these old episodes, they'd end up like soccer players or boxers by, 45. You wouldn't be able to think anymore. So what is that, 8 panel last page? 7. That's a lot. Look, you're introducing an entirely new group of guys at the end of the last page. I mean, I guess, whatever. Tarzan, Lord of the Jungle. And today's episode is brought to you by Legacy of a Mad Scientist, Legend of Ashley Fox. I don't know if we're going to do comics for these. I mean, it's 725 and 750 pages. These are science fiction epics. It's all comic book action, almost. I mean, it's definitely what this is. But it's a lot of drawing. You know what I mean? That's 300 issues? I don't know. It'd be a lot of issues. It'd be a great cartoon, though. Ashley Fox, The Last Valkyrie. Ashley Fox, Ninja Babysitter, The Last Valkyrie. This is a comic book PDF for you guys out here in the description. And I do have something I want to talk about today, and I haven't forgotten it, so it's going to be pretty easy. I've been working with Jay, who's the artist, and we went to animation school together out here in Los Angeles, Santa Monica, a long time ago. And he's doing the art for a lot of this. I'm drawing too, but I'm not as fast or as good as him, and I need to learn how to light and crosshatch. I've spent the bulk of my time learning how to write, and I'm very good at it. Although that's just, you only can take my word for it. You can check out the work, but I haven't spent a bunch of time writing for Marvel and DC, or even for the studios. So I retain my intellectual property. It was always a little too close. I did publish some short stories. I'm getting off track here. This isn't what I want to talk about. But I have been talking with Jay, and we're thinking about how we're going to approach all of this for you guys. This is really for you guys. This is how we're going to bring our work to market for you. And we're thinking about 3 crowdfunded books, like Creepshow, not really horror anthologies, but action horror anthologies. And horror anthologies are action movies where the heroes lose, and action movies are horror movies where the heroes win. That's my theory. It's rescue porn or it's murder porn, right? So here's what I want to talk about. How we present this to you guys. Like, I don't want to start off with a massive epic when no one's ever heard of us. I don't want to, because first off, there's diminishing returns, and if you don't get in on the first issue, when we only have 5, if we're able to sell 500 issues, then how does anyone get in, right? You have to go to 15th printings and blah, blah, blah. And so that's what brings me to what I want to talk about. 15th printings of Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. Ashley is a $1 billion story idea. It's that good, and all the things surrounding it will be that good. My whole little universe will be that good. I don't need to hire Chuck Dixon and Mike Barron to write it for me. But what I want to approach is the collector market. I want to romance the collector market and not the speculator market. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to do 3 ensemble sort of horror anthology issues where we introduce a bunch of different characters and all the storylines and the branching characters and storylines that are going to make up our epic. And these 3 books you'll be able to buy at any time. We'll print on demand. There will be a first printing, etc., etc. But we're going to focus on the collector market. We're going to service the collector market. Our trading cards are going to service the collector market. We're going to produce a card game. I've nominated Jay to produce a card game. He's got some ideas about it, and I think it will germinate, and he'll come up with something over the next few months. We have a lot of time. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go after the collector market and not the speculator market. The collectors are who I care about. I am a collector. I'm not a speculator. Being a speculator made me feel awful. Being a collector made me feel like a little kid. It was a great feeling. I loved it. It was the enjoyment of discovery. You get the same thing with skateboards. There's one of these on sale right now on eBay for $2,700. Number 9 of 10. I have number 10 of 10. Number 9 of 10 is on sale right now on eBay for $2,700. I bought this in 2005 from Neil Adams at the San Diego Comic Con. I would never, ever, ever sell it, not for $3,000. But there's a difference between the collector and the speculator. If I had $3,000 lying around, I would immediately snap up number 9, and then I would have numbers 9 and 10. And that would be fucking sick, right? Like, that would be sick. I've never seen any of these come up for sale, but there's one on sale right now for eBay. The hookups boards. I love collecting the Misfits Zero boards. These aren't really worth a lot, except this one is, because this one's upside down, right? This one got printed incorrectly and it's upside down, and I got it autographed by Jamie Thomas. This is because I bought it directly from Jamie Thomas on eBay, where he sells boards every week. So being a collector, I don't care what it's worth. It's worth way more to me than it could ever be worth to anyone else. And if I had never got into any financial difficulties, I never would have sold any of my comics. If there had never been a culture war, the direction of my career would absolutely be different. I don't know if I'd be happier. It's hard to say I'd be happier because I'm really in love with who I am right now. Like, I am the Conan of my life. I could not be happier. So I could have more money, but money can't buy you happiness because money can't make me. Doing the work with friends, that's happiness. You can't buy it. If I had a ton of money and I wasn't who I was, I would not be happy. So this is something, doing these comics, I would pay money to do this. And I get to do it for free. I have my Wacom tablet, pencils, I've got the skills. My Modern Savages characters are awesome, and they're getting better. So that's what I want to say today. I am excited about seducing and romancing the collector market. The speculators can all go fuck themselves. I hope they all drowned. Speculators are mostly Jews anyhow, and this is a Jew-saturated, American media is a Jew-saturated industry, like finance. But I'd be much happier doing this than finance. So I want to make my money here and invest it in crypto. I don't want to make my money in crypto and then spend it in the rest of the world. That's not how I have everything I need to live my most perfect life, and I'm doing it now. The only thing I don't have is you guys. So I'm out here to meet you guys and tell you about the comics that I'm doing. Basically, Conan on a skateboard, angels versus vampires, science fiction, robots in the future, and thinking metal in the future. So that's what this is. This is a Micronix amplifier, and it's actually a knife for Ashley. Ashley's my main character, and this is a Microtech, but in my story it's called a Micronix. And yeah, about as happy as I could get. I was watching Troy yesterday, and this has been out here for a couple weeks, but you guys can't see it. And I had a whole idea. One of the comic books I want to do is a story about Ashley. Well, she's out for a run. A bunch of time-traveling, time-warping bad guys launch in like all of history's greatest warriors for her to fight one afternoon. And she's been out running, and now she has to fight all these bad guys. And she takes the weapon from each previous bad guy to beat the next one. So that'll be a comic book and a video game and a card game. I know how to do that with cards. Like, I have an idea for covers, for comic book covers, where you open it up and on the inside of the cover is Dungeons and Dragons role-playing encounter rules, where you look back at the cover and you see who has what weapons, and then what order to attack and who to attack with which weapon and how can you win. And there will be a win for every character in the encounter. So, like, I'm really excited about doing all of this for you guys. I'm out here romancing you and seducing you every day, bringing you stuff. Check out the description for all the links. And all right, talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.